But hey, let's talk about anime.
Let's talk about anime. It was a very cute anime. They do cute cosplays. It does, cute rom-com sexual tension really well. It was a fun time. On the completely different spectrum, I started catching up on Attack on Titan.
I haven't finished season 1. All right, let me see if I can give you for anyone that's listening to this, we know the guy is the Thing.
We know the guy is the Thing, gotcha.
And they went to use it.
Mm-hmm. On purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
And they just did that thing.
Nice.
That was the end of the last episode that I saw.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the reason why you stopped is you weren't
the reason why I stopped is because it's really hard to watch subbed anime while I do anything else.
That's legit.
There is no other reason. I was having a great time with Attack on Titan.
A lot of people don't like that arc, is why I bring it up. I thought it was fine. I really like Attack on Titan. It is one of the few cases where I'd say the anime is the best way to experiencing it rather than the manga. I followed the manga for a really long time. And I'm trying to figure out how to phrase my criticisms in such a way that it does not seem harsh. Okay, I can explain one scene that kind of summarizes my problem. It's quite a bit later on, but it's not a big deal. There was a character in the manga, essentially a bystander character, that had the exact same silhouette and haircut as a very major character.
Fucking god damn it.
This bystander character immediately dies. I spent weeks assuming a major character had died and no one was fucking talking about it. And it took me a long time to realize that it wasn't that character.
This happened. Has this happened in as much as I've seen?
It has not.
Okay.
Um,
Because boy, do people just be like, oh, hey, what are you doing with that gun? Blam!
But yeah, the anime gave this side character, they still had the same general silhouette, but gave them a name first off and had the other character in the scene say their name multiple times.
God, that's
different.
Oh, fixed it. Fixed it
entirely. But no, that was rough for me in reading the manga. And there's the art style is just, it's very sketchy and unclear in some cases, which makes the action scene, frankly, makes the action scenes better. It
really?
does the swooping around and the slicing and the spinning really fucking cool and visceral and great. I look at it
do you still own these?
No. I got them from the library.
Library. Yeah. You mentioned that's a good idea. I probably should do that because
manga's expensive.
Well, I kind of want to spend my comic money on indie folks doing indie shit, right? And it's like, well, manga, Attack on Titan doesn't need my dollar.
Yeah,
it's got dollar. It's fine. I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I looked at it for fight reference a lot because of that. It does that very cool.
That's really interesting because it's like I'm literally practicing action shots in this little side project and trying to get some good action curves in there and characters contacting each other and motion lines and all that, and it's a thing that it's a skill I'm pushing, right? Mm-hmm. And I often worry that my art style is a little too sketchy to clearly, describe action. I did a little bit of action in Wild Azaleas Chapter 1, and I was like, it works, but I could do better, Where it's I don't hate it, I don't want to go back and redo it or anything, but it's I could do better. But it's really interesting to hear you organically say that in this particular case, the scribbly sketchy was exactly the right tool for the job.
Yeah. Yes, I really do think that.
Neat.
Part of me is like, should maybe we can look at that together, and I can study while you have it.
Well, we need to watch more shit together anyway. We just need to put it on the calendar. The calendar.
But yeah, the anime adds the dramaticness of the show as opposed to the manga. Like, it's one of those things, like, Anachronistic, I think, works best as a podcast because I think the acting adds so much. I think the same in Attack on Titan. Like, there's... for the record, I watched the dub for it. I don't necessarily think the dub is better in this case, but I think it does the job well, and I need to work while I watch, so... It adds more intensity to some of the scenes.
Because I have encountered some damn good dubs in my day. Question for you.
Yeah.
Because I have my answer ready. What's your favorite dub? What's a dub, an anime dub that you think is immaculate, that just nailed it? Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
That's good to know because I need to get that one watched, and if its dub is good.
I think the dub is better than the sub.
Boy, is that I feel like we've had this conversation because boy, is that tough to believe with a character like Kamina.
Kamina doesn't work if you don't understand exactly what the fuck he's saying, because what he's saying doesn't make sense otherwise. Or it doesn't make sense is what I'm saying. It only gets it if you feel the
there's the anime, there's the Kamina roar, there's the Kamina hot-blooded, like, 'cause I have watched one episode of Gurren Lagann, and I know who the character Kamina is. Like, that Kamina is an archetype. I could say Kamina and mean the archetype. And that hot-blooded character that Japanese character that gets excited in that way is real tough for an English voice actor to portray. But if you do it, then you fucking do it.
I'm actually going to even say it's not tough. It's just it was done badly for so long just because
fucking
English voice
fair.
actors weren't used to it.
Fucking fair.
Because
and I'm kind of stealing this from others that have said it better than me. It's a character trope that doesn't one-to-one translate culturally speaking. Where, like, that character, because I know that character and I like that character, I can't think of a Western example or that isn't directly like inspired or related to anime. I can't think of an organically Western example of the same character of that archetype.
You know what? I disagree, but I'm not quite ready to articulate it yet.
I will revisit the fuck out of this conversation anytime.
My gut, like, the best way I can summarize it real quick is, like, American joined the army. It's very much the same feeling.
Yeah.
Japanese is much more personal strength.
Yeah, you gotta bot the swap. You gotta bot the stomp. You gotta go.
Woo, yay, bots! I got it.
Just gonna do it just real quick to clear it out. Nope, that didn't. Okay. Oh, whoa! No, I want this. All right, here we go. Hey, we're back.
I sure do love how the first time viewer pops up every time to get you excited for a second until.
Oh, come on! There we go. Thank you. Oh, yeah, no, it updated when you cleared it out. Great.
But yeah, I think that was a problem that has existed, does still exist from time to time, but is no longer a constant problem. I think it was a problem alongside just dubs being garbage for a long time.
Yeah, that's interesting, because because boys, there've been like a fucking decade since I've been like a true anime fan. My name, Iron Oki, comes from 10 years ago when I was kind of relaxing from anime and kind of getting into the Marvel movies. It's Iron was from Iron Man and Oki was from Kenoki Ryoki Tenchimoyo. And so that's where my name comes from. And it was a really convenient, unique username. But yeah, it's actually been an extensively long time since I've really like been an anime fan. I could get back in.
That's also something that like there's still discourse, I say with discourse, I needed to put the quotes in, about in like the anime community. It's like, oh, dubs suck. It's like, no, they did used to suck.
Yeah. Sucky
but they
dubs
don't
suck.
anymore. Yeah, and it is still like we America does not have the resources that Japan does for anime dubbing because it's a Japanese market that we are getting. Like that does make
and all
sense,
the
but-
American money goes to like one episode of The Family Guy,
Mhm.
which could
and-
fund like 2 seasons of an anime.
Yeah. Not something we should look up to. It's because of worker exploitation. But
I know that too.
yeah, Gurren Lagann's I think a very good dub, and I think it because again, you know the character of Kamina. Many characters in Gurren Lagann spout nonsense confidently, and it's not about what the logic of the words they are saying. It is about the emotion behind it,
Kyle,
and that is carried in the acting.
Kyle, yours is the drill that will pierce the heavens.
It is. Yep. See, that doesn't fucking make sense. But the feeling of it.
Yes.
The feeling's important.
But my answer to the same question is Fully Cooley.
That's a good one.
I loved the way that they culturally translated it. There's one particular thing where he bought like Hustler at 7-Eleven. Where the robot got the old man a copy of Hustler from 7-Eleven, and it's just like, no, he bought a girly mag from the convenience store, and it was a Japanese girly mag from a Japanese convenience store, and just that little quick little bit for the touch. It's just for the translation, just like, yeah, got it. And then you go back and watch it subbed, and you're like, oh, that's what they actually said. Got it. Something else. It's no big deal. Anyway, yeah. Good to know that I can watch. Dubs are fine. Great.
There might I mean, in a lot of cases, there might still be cringe sometimes, but I think it's a lot less than it used to be.
Deal with cringe. I don't believe in
He says with
cringe.
trial. But yeah,
Honestly,
the anime, like,
Go ahead.
as good as I think the art does with the fight choreography, the anime still does it better. It's so much better suited for anime, just in general, I think.
Yeah, that's some exciting shit. I'd kill for a video game in Attack on Titan.
There's actually some good ones. There's actually an indie-made one that was surprisingly good, and it really kind of sold how fucking awkward and hard it would be to use the 3D gear they use. But once you get the hang of it, you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. I kind of like a lot of the sort of political, not political. That's not the right word. Logistical questions Attack on Titan answers very organically. Sort of how like so one conversation I remember having with not an anime fan about Attack on Titan when I was really fanboying over it, and they're like, why don't they just use guns? It's explained why they don't use guns. Titans have a very specific weak point that guns aren't gonna hit. Maybe a cannon aimed perfectly, but guns aren't effective.
Yeah.
They have a very specific weakness that can only be achieved in very specific ways. So yes, they invented weird sci-fi grapple gear because that was the only thing that really got the job done.
Yeah.
And I very much like that. later when they talk about the Survey Corps, their tactics and the sort of history surrounding the development of that, I find really fascinating. I'm kind of
yeah, the badasses.
yeah.
The motherfucker squad.
Mm-hmm.
I remember those guys. That was, you know what? Like in terms of like framing and like you know, efficient character development. That was a good job establishing, hey, check out this badass squad.
Mm-hmm. There's a particular like data point they give, which is like if you join the Survey Corps, you're probably like 90% of you are gonna die, but the other 10% are gonna become unstoppable, who will be able to survive for years and years without issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that data point.
Yeah, I think that sounds familiar.
You might have seen. You
Yeah.
might have seen that. That is early enough that I don't remember exactly when they say it. But yeah, I thought that was really cool, and the way they show it like that, it makes sense. Like, again, because this fighting style is not something humans are naturally suited to do. But once you get the hang of it, like most things, you really get the hang of it.
Shit. What's his name?
It's just if you fuck up once, you're dead.
Do you know who Lincoln Beachy is?
I don't think so.
I'm looking him up to make sure. Yeah, Lincoln Beachy. Before the World War, but after the Wright brothers, airplanes were pretty dangerous, and there were a few things that were pretty much just going to kill you. One of them was a particular kind of corkscrew spin that if you fuck up so bad that you enter this, you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And prevalent belief was that when you are in free fall, you would die of fear. You would just literally, your body would just die before you hit the ground.
Oof.
That is what people believed.
Yeah.
And Lincoln Beachy is a great American motherfucker. He is, for all intents and purposes, the first stunt pilot.
Neat.
He wanted to fly with every fiber of his being, couldn't, went through shenanigans, fucking got in a plane as, like, he got a job as a mechanic so he could just get into a plane. And that particular death spin I mentioned, he put himself into one and just came out of it.
Jeez.
He invented the technique to like right yourself when this happens. It's I think it was like a downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, no, you just need to not fight it. You need to lean into it and don't be afraid and just be part of the wind. This guy thought, this guy thought in flight, and he is a real world example of what you just described in Attack on Titan. Of, okay, yeah, most of you are gonna die, but the one that lives is going to be unfucking stoppable. Do you know what finally fucking killed him? A bad plane.
Oh my god.
A plane that was so shitty that its wings came off and he just like crashed into the waters off of Alcatraz and died and like drowned. And it's just like nothing could stop this guy except literally the shittiest airplane ever.
Did he know it was the shittiest airplane ever before he got into it?
He was aware that the design was pushing some things.
Gotcha.
As I understand the story. And so I listened to I think it was Radiolab, or it's either Radiolab or This American Life on NPR. Did a show about Lincoln Beachy. You can look this up and listen to a really, really great story about this guy. Everyone fucking forgot he existed. He's one of the greatest American badasses I've ever heard. He's up there with like cowboy legends and war generals and just some of the fucking coolest people that ever lived. Like civil rights leaders and just cool ass badass motherfuckers. This dude Lincoln Beachy was just promptly completely forgotten by history because immediately after he died, the world wars happened and we just had a whole bunch of war heroes. At least that's the theory. Except for the fact that there was a jump rope rhyme that kids never stopped telling to this day.
Interesting.
Lincoln Beachy thought it'd be a dream to go up to heaven in a flying machine. The plane broke down and down he fell. He thought he went to heaven, but he went to Lincoln Beach. He thought it was a dream, etc. A jump rope rhyme that just exists on playgrounds organically, like 100 years later.
Nice.
Fucking what?
Well, I think that is a fun time to wrap up for tonight.
I think that's a good time to say thank you to everyone we're thankful for.